It's your personal rejuvenation station, Women's Health Matters radio show with your host, Ayo Hinds, certified Wonder Womb specialist. As a certified holistic health consultant, womb wellness, and raindrop therapy specialist, Ayo works with women of all ages on rejuvenating wounds of the mind, the heart, and the physical womb. Rejuvenation Station, where your whole well-being is reawakened. And here is Ayo.
Oh, hello, everyone. All right. Let's welcome you into the Rejuvenation Station. So glad to have you here. I'm seeing some lightning going on outside. Sorry, I just got a little distracted there. Oh boy. Okay. You might hear some thunder after. All right. So hope you all are doing well. Just want to give you a word of caution with the weather's been, I know here where it's, a little cool and maybe you're in a cool climate as well. Sometimes you have these warmer days that sneak in. Well, a word of advice is don't go crazy taking everything off and walking around without a jacket or a sweater or a hat of some kind. I've been hearing about people getting colds and forgetting, it's going to get cold again, especially especially at night, the temperature is going to drop back down. So just be careful. Little tip from Ayo. All right. And make sure you wash your hands, especially if you've been around a lot of people or maybe in public places. Okay. All you need to do is, accidentally touch some germ-infested place and you touch your eye, you touch your nose, you touch your mouth, and boom, you got something. So watch out there. Okay. All right. On tonight's show, it's going to be real interesting. We're going to have a nice, lively discussion about me time. And, as women, we are instinctively nurturers. I've said that several times before on here because we do for others more than we do for ourselves. And this is affecting our heart health. This month we are observant and aware of heart health, which is one of the number one killers of women, at least in the United States. Okay. So, not nurturing ourselves is affecting our heart. It's affecting our mental health big, big time. Okay. And my guest, Alicia James, is on a mission to put a stop to this. All right. And create a wonderful space for women to have me time. Now, Alicia, I heard that at one of your events, a man had came there and it was quite insightful for him, I guess. I was thinking that if we have time, we might have you, say a few words about that as well. But the plan is also to touch on finding your purpose, which when that is found, it can have a soothing effect on your spirit, on your soul. All right. So, it's very important to look at that as well. So before we get there, a little housekeeping. As you know, until we have call-in set up, we want to post your questions on the Rejuvenation Station Radio Facebook page. Okay. Or you can email me. And by the way, you want to make sure it says Rejuvenation Station Radio Facebook page. You'll see my picture because there's another one that's similar and it's a spa. That's not me. All right. So, or you can email me using Ayo, AYO, at consciouslivingcare.com. So that's CONSCIOUS livingcare.com. All right. And if for any reason we don't get to you tonight, I will answer you right back on the email or on the Facebook page, I'll just answer you right there on the Facebook page. Okay. All right. And tonight I would like to dedicate our topic. I always honor a woman's her story. We are next month going into Women's History Month, where we are honoring Black History Month this month. So another African American woman of African descent that I like to honor is Sojourner Truth. And let me get my notes here. And so some of you, I'm sure many of you know of her as an abolitionist and women's women's right activist she was born into slavery in Ulster County, New York. Yes, there was slavery there at that time. Some people forget that. And she just became an huge advocate for women's rights, and she had many speeches on women's rights. And I wanted to honor her because there's a group of women called the Girl Trek, an organization, I should say, called Girl Trek, and they honor her all the time because of what she's done in her time. All right. They wear this blue, superhero blue, in honor of her. Look at her as a superhero. So I just wanted to mention that real quick. She has a long, extensive history. I'm not even going to touch on that. I recommend you definitely look into more about Sojourner Truth and her journey, her history as a abolitionist for women's rights in the U.S. Very, very important to our history. Okay. All right. So tonight's topic, like I said, is we're going to look at having me time, women having me time, and how not honoring ourselves affects our mental health and our heart health and our health overall. Okay. Again, like I said, we're instinctively nurturers, and it's not just to children. It can be our husbands. It can be, boyfriends, just friends. We're the go-to person. We're the do-it-all person. We're the know-it-all person. We never say no. Many times for many of us, we could be nurturers to our pets. We can be obsessive there as well. So, and to the job, right? We want to be the best. We want to be at the top of our game. So all that energy goes into other people besides ourselves. And so now it's time to take a look at yourself, to reflect on, kind of looking from the outside in and seeing where you are, what you're doing, or what you're not doing for yourself. And that's what Alicia James, my guest, is going to enlighten us with. Now, before I introduce her, I'm about to introduce her, I'd like you to always be able to take notes, or if you can, if you're not driving, because there's some really, really good information that all my guests always have to share. So, these little pearls of wisdom that they have. All right. So I met Alicia at a health fair, a health expo in the Bronx, and she was just this very bubbly, friendly person. She was passing out her business cards. She also had a table to share about the project, the PAM project, and I'll explain that a little more in a minute, and she will too. That she was launching and really excited about. So then we wound up sitting on the same panel. There was a panel discussion about women's health and mental health. So, so that was really cool, and so we just, stayed connected like that. And as a matter of fact, I think at that event, that all the men were kicked out of the room. It was very interesting. And we went deep into the women's reproductive anatomy. It was very awesome. So we've kept in touch, and I've at least gone to one of Alicia's events, which was so great. I mean, she's really a great host. She's really a great visionary. Everyone was engaged with, networking with each other. Um, she was able to pull out these great visions and dreams that we tend to just carry around inside of us and, just don't express these ideas. We just carry it around and um, don't think that it means anything, or I don't know how to do it, or, I don't know how to make it come forth or come alive. So we just walk around with these things inside of us. And Alicia's very good at bringing that out. Okay. Um, she is a driven social entrepreneur, visionary, and a nonprofit marketing professional. She's the founder and president of the PAM Project, and PAM stands for Preserve a Mom. So it's the Preserve a Mom Project, which is a social enterprise which advocates and promotes mental health and wellness for mothers. But everyone is welcome, whether you're a mother or not. Ms. James is also the president of ARJ Solutions, a nonprofit marketing consultancy which assists other social entrepreneurs and visionaries with their next steps in launching and promoting their own nonprofit visions. She's her personal commitment and passion has enabled her to establish successful business partnerships within the private and the public sector. She's an advocate for mental health and women, and she continues to seek business endeavors and partnerships that will empower and educate communities. She's a member of the Association of Fundraising Professionals, the Association of Black Foundation Executives, and an active committee member of the Columbia University New Research Study of Mental Health in Harlem. Oh, she's so busy, a busy, busy woman. And also the mom of, is it one or two, Alicia?
One son.
One. Okay, one son. Okay, great. So let's welcome Alicia into the Rejuvenation Station. Woohoo! Welcome, Alicia.
Thank you so much for inviting me to join you tonight.
Okay, great. It's so good to have you here. All right. So, Alicia, I guess we'll just start where you started, in a sense. At least with the PAM project, because that's where we're kind of taking off from, how you got started with your vision of the PAM project and made it come alive.
Well, I have to tell you, it's been a long journey. We're going to talk about this later about how do you find your purpose. And many years ago, I used to volunteer for a nonprofit organization that provided services for women that were in crisis. And for a period of 2 years, I was a client mentor at this agency. And the time that I spent with my client and with other women that had different needs, whether it was homelessness, domestic violence, drug addiction, I thought that the services they provided were excellent, but I found a void. And usually people that find a purpose, they find a void, they find something that's missing that needs to be addressed. And the void that I found was whenever you're going through any type of trauma or a crisis, your mental health, how you get there, is not just based on one issue. And that particular nonprofit organization, they took on clients who were referred to them through government agencies. So you had to have a certain income level. And that was the void that I wanted to address, because I felt that a mom could be experiencing any type of trauma, stress, and affect their well-being, regardless to whatever their financial status is. And from there, I began to write out what I thought I would like to see happen. Unfortunately, maybe unfortunately, I set the vision down after writing it, and I thought it was too grand, too big.
Mm-hmm.
And, at the time, I didn't have half the things or resources to bring it to fruition. And moving forward, it stayed in my heart. And I actually changed careers, went back to school, and equipped myself to be able to see it come to fruition. And since that time, all those years later, boldly speaking about the importance of mental health, mental wellness from others. And the more I have shared my vision, the more each day I have either a conversation or verbal conversation, text message, or some level with a mother, a woman who is experiencing something and desperately needs someone to just listen more than anything. And so those interactions are really what continue to fuel me to move forward and keep going, promoting the importance of mental health and to encourage the conversation.
Okay, cool. When we were talking earlier before, you had mentioned how you had tried this out, kind of getting moms together. You tried it out on your family first. And I
Yes,
thought that was so cool. Because,
yes,
again, when we get on the purpose part, it's like, all right, so you have this grand idea, and well, who do you talk to, right? So you said, hey, let me start with my family. I thought that was great.
yes. Oh, I left that part out. The other part, it was a long journey. So when I said it, I felt it was too big. I have a very big family, my mom's side of the family, and I tried out the concept because I think it's very important that regardless if you're a woman or a mother or not, that we need to be each other's keepers and that we need to always be reconnecting with one another. And so what I would do was when I started out with my family, we started doing like a potluck. And all the women would come together once a month with a dish, beverage or what have you, and just love on one another and reconnect and check in. And because one of the things when you're experiencing stress, depression, what have you, the first sign of it is when you're isolated from one another, when you're not connected and not engaging in what's going on in another person's life. And so it was well received by my family. and we truly enjoyed it. But at one point, I had to become brave enough to out myself
Mm-hmm.
and share that the PAM project, the PAM parties is what we called it, was more than just about us. Um, and also with that, they thought it was just me honoring my mother because my mom's middle name is Pam. And
Mm-hmm.
so they were thinking this is a way of her, paying tribute to her mom. But in
Mm-hmm.
fact, PAM stands for preserve a mom.
Mm-hmm.
When you preserve something, you're being proactive, you're
Mm-hmm.
keeping things in good condition. You're not waiting for it to unravel and fall apart and
Exactly.
be of decay. So
Mm-hmm.
the whole premise of preservation is so important, um, that we are always trying to be proactive and take
Mm-hmm.
good care of one another and take care of ourselves first.
Right.
Take care of yourself
Exactly.
first. Yes.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yes, yes, yes. So, what are some of the things that Pam has done to help mothers, to help, well, women, preserve themselves? What are some of the things that you've done?
Well, I have to say that last year it was a very productive, busy year, and so has so far this year too. But I kicked off last year, which May of mental was Mental Health Month, and I did a mental health community forum targeting women of color and on Long Island, and it was a very powerful 4 hours of a panel discussion, interactive discussion with the attendees, where
Mm-hmm.
we carefully looked at different elements that affect someone's mental health or well-being. We talked about postpartum depression. We talked about suicidal thoughts. We talked about trauma. We talked about behavioral eating disorders. We talked about stress. We
Mm-hmm.
talked about different items you would need in your tool belt to prevent you from having, to preserve yourself. Um, so the theme of the event last year and for my event this year is how do you save your last nerve?
I like that.
Yes, because you need to know
Yeah.
beforehand, before things get out of control, what can you do? Who can you call to talk
Mm-hmm.
to rant whatever you need to do to get things off your chest and not let them fester? Um, you need to know that. And so we had a very healthy, powerful dialogue. And
Mm-hmm.
I was proud to say that it was also a safe place for,
Mm-hmm.
especially for women, regardless if they're mothers or not, to be comfortable sharing they
Mm-hmm.
had attempted suicide. And I believe there were
Mm-hmm.
about 4 women that felt safe sharing um,
Mm-hmm.
their attempts. And we loved on each other. We actually ended out in prayer
Mm-hmm.
and we shared affirmations to encourage each other. I've actually done 3 community forums last year. And then in between that time, each month, I do mom me time meetups where it's always something different to encourage the mom to get out of the house and just shut everything down and invest in
Mm-hmm.
herself and saying, this is for me. I'm
Mm-hmm.
going to, without the kids, without my partner, I'm going to purposely look to reconnect with other women, enjoy doing something different for myself. So we've done spa parties, facial and foot soaks and makeup parties, um, eating good, drinking well, you know, laughing loud, smiling big, and just turning our phones off,
Mm-hmm.
um, and revisiting um, big ideas, visions we might have suppressed, and
Mm-hmm.
and getting feedback from one another in terms of how you can make it happen and not put it off another year. And those things are important because
It is.
it says, my voice is going, I'm sorry. It says to yourself and it says to whoever is listening that I matter, I'm important.
Mm-hmm.
And, regardless to all the titles I might have, I am to take care of me first.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I'll let you take a break and get some water.
Thank you. My voice just went. It's horrible.
um, the other thing that we spoke about, we were talking about, even as Black women, especially, we endure so much. We have to. We're quite a few of us have our single parent moms, and we and that just adds on to everything else, the work and uh, just being the mother, the father, the financial person, the cook, the shopper, you're doing it all. And so, not to mention being of color, whatever the is going on out in the system and in the United States, I'm talking about how things are not designed for us to succeed. Even though there are many, many Black women who have succeeded, that's why I call them out all the time, because some of them are not, held up and mentioned and acknowledged. But there are some of us that are stuck in the system, in a sense of not being able to make financial strides the way that we should be able to, and not being uh, told about or have access to certain resources that are available to us, but because we don't know, we don't take advantage of them. So that's why it's so great that your um, project kind of fills that void. Uh, because what I noticed, even with just that one networking session gathering that I went to, there were so many women there from different backgrounds, and like I said, they have different ideas, but not only different ideas, they have different resources. So we can, be a resource for each other. And, that's something definitely I would like to incorporate in my family, uh, just like you did with yours. And I don't know if that's something that you encourage your followers, if you, I don't have a better word for it, uh, your community. Do you encourage them to, look in their families to see, where they can have these type of conversations and be resources for each other?
I do. One of the things that I have to say, I was on another show a few months ago, and we were talking about mental health, and you know, so many people have this vision of a therapist, and that you have to have certain credentials to change the conversation or speak about a certain issue. And I said everyone can play a part. That when I spoke earlier about um, my family, and we used to have these meetups, it's important that we check in with one another. So even if it's just a phone call, if you haven't spoken to someone in a few weeks, that you check in and say how you doing, and
Hmm.
and connect with one another. So
Hmm.
it is very important that um, Some people don't always have that in their immediate family, but that we are become more comfortable in sharing. And when you talk about communities of color and women's of color, we wear this mask and we put up this facade because we might have experienced so many different things that we don't want to share. We keep up a wall. And we either do that because so many times in the past we have been rejected, have been let down, or afraid of being judged and being ridiculed. But in the fear of someone viewing us as weak or incapable is so tragic that it's killing us. The stigma of not being strong, especially of women of color, that we can't, as a community, I said everyone, we have had a difficult time in getting past it. So I have a couple of things I want to just list that I had shared with some of the ladies from my last event that I did this last Saturday. Can I share them?
Sure, absolutely.
It's the art of healthy selfishness. So the first one is say no and yes at the right time, but learning how to say no more often. Number 2, ask for what you want and what you need. And this is really for the women who are the head of the family. Like you're the eldest in the family, I'll say. If you're a single mom, eldest in the family, you're the caregiver to many people. You are the go-to person to your inner circle. So that means everyone's always coming to you asking and expecting. And you never either get the opportunity to, or you just assume that it's not going to be granted to you. So you don't ask. So that's number 2. Number 3, don't wait for what you deserve. If you don't get it, give it to yourself. Yeah, that's a big one.
It is.
Number 4, take every opportunity to preserve yourself every day. That could be something as small as not rushing to go right home. You know, the stress level always being on the clock. It could be writing in a journal during your lunch and not using your lunch to do something else stressful. It could be a number of things, but something to preserve your mental state. And then the last I have, to revisit your dreams. Never lose sight of what makes you smile, what makes you happy. Don't get so caught up in the day-to-day that you lose sight of yourself. So those are just a few bullets that I think are so important that, we get so caught up as women, as mothers, as nurturers, as caregivers, that we forget those things.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And another, another category of people, the name escapes me right now, but there are some people who are in the middle of caring for their children as well as caring for their elderly parents.
Right. Caregivers.
And not care, it was something in the middle. Anyway,
Okay.
having to do double, play a double role there.
Yeah.
And that's getting to be bigger and bigger and bigger. So that's really where women need to be careful and check in, so it's not just caring for the children. Well, now you might have to care for your parents too.
Right.
So that is really big. So this is This is great. Something else I was going to ask. It just lost me. Okay. So let's talk a little bit about, well, this is kind of segues into finding your purpose. Oh, when you said about revisiting your dreams, there's some people that don't even have any dreams. At least they don't think they do. Because sometimes I'll ask that question, and quite often I get, I don't know. Well, what do you want to do with your life? Well, I don't know. And I mean, this is someone who's over 20, not just a kid or a teenager. It's like, all right, you're 20 something and you don't even have a vision for yourself. There's some people, they just, they'll just work in the office or they'll work at the store, which is okay. But have you ever really just, tried to look into something that brings you joy? Because that probably does not bring you joy. Now, there may be some people that, hey, they just love it. They love what they do. They love being a cashier. There's nothing wrong with that. That's cool. But if you just have this little inkling, like, I'm not really loving this, I'm just doing it because I'm doing something, that's when it's time to explore. And so how do you bring that out in people?
I have to say that even for me, the journey, I mean, I talked about it a little bit earlier, but I didn't choose this path for myself. I went to school for fashion. I went to FIT and was a merchandiser. My degree is in marketing and business management. But I've always enjoyed helping people. I've always enjoyed volunteering, and it was always there. And, when I took the client mentor assignment, people need to look at what is it that I do that I would do even if I didn't get paid for it. Whatever makes me happy. Sometimes it won't even come to you. Other people will tell you, this is your gift. This is that. It'll come back to you. It's interesting that there's a book called The Purposeful Life. I can't recall the author's name right now, but the author talks about and that every person has a design purpose. We all have an assignment to do here. And it's just about matter of you tapping into what gives you joy. Where do you find passion? It could be working with children. It could be plants, or it could be drawing, painting, whatever. Everybody has something. But if you don't take the time to horn in on you, to get to a quiet place, just think or revisit, what do I really want to do? So many people get so caught up in the day-to-day that, something you said a little earlier, that they're just going through the motions. They're just existing. They're not living, right? So if you took the time to give yourself a time out, maybe a day or weekend, and just explore that. And I think for me, with the PAM project, I walked away from volunteering one day, and I always tell the story that I let my mind wander. And I said, what if? What if? And I was thinking really big. I wasn't thinking about how much money I would need. I wasn't thinking about the skill set I would need. I wasn't thinking about resources, all the things you need when you want to start a business, right? I just thought, what if? And like a child, kids don't think about any of these things. They just want a big house and they want a big car. So part of it is like you have to return to the inner child, right?
Yeah.
And allow yourself to say, I want this. And really what it is that that's how you find your purpose. When you're not intimidated or afraid of anything. You just think big.
Mm-hmm.
And when you claim it and you speak it into the universe or however you want to call it, something magical happens. The
That's true.
doors will open, the resources will come, the contacts will come, and before you know it, you're walking in your purpose.
Mm-hmm.
And I
Mm-hmm.
know it's like, oh, really? Like, yes, because I never thought I would be doing this work, but I couldn't see myself doing anything else.
Right, right.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think that's how it happens. And I do like that idea of getting back to that childlike mentality.
right,
Just free your mind and now with the power of the internet, um we have the world in front of us every day in your palm,
right,
on your smartphone. You can explore everything and anything. Um, and you can experience so much just by, just visually seeing what's going on and even interacting with people from all over the world. So nowadays, I think it's even easier, now that I think about it, to really explore something that you just may want to do.
right,
Because I was going to say that, um, if you get out and interact with people, and travel, that can help you as well. But everyone can't do that. Everyone may not be able to travel, but most people have a smartphone nowadays. Most people have a computer or have access. And so, and even on TV, that allows us to connect and explore. A big theme on PBS is they have these little ads where they have interviewed somebody and the person that they're interviewing says how PBS has opened them up, how it's expanded their mind, how it's showed them, the possibility of doing XYZ
right,
because they just would not have thought about it. And they explored it more and they went on to do that thing. So it is a matter of taking some time to, well, have that childlike mentality and then using the internet and the TV, to allow us to open our minds and just to see what's possible out there, you know.
mm-hmm.
That's how I see that. Let's see, we're almost close to 8:15, so that's given us we have a little bit more than 15 minutes. I
Okay,
just want to take a minute and tell everyone that you can, if you weren't on at the top of the hour, you can go to the Rejuvenation Station Facebook page, sorry, Rejuvenation Station Radio Facebook page and post a question or a comment that you have for us there. Or to my email, which is ayo at consciouslivingcare.com. Okay. I just stepped over there. I don't see anything right now. So, but I'll check back a little in a few minutes. Okay. Um, so I'd like to take this moment, Alicia, for you to tell us, what are your plans for the PAM project this year, and also how people can get in contact with you.
great. So, um, as I said before, I try to do monthly meetups every month for, of course, for moms and to encourage the importance of me time. I'll proud myself in saying that from the monthly meetups, some of the moms have now become friends, which is part of what I want to see happen. And a lot of the moms are entrepreneurs and are startups or inspiring entrepreneurs. And so it is great to see that they're, as you said before, sharing resources, being voice boards for one another in terms of tips and pointers to how to move them along. So I just did my event for this month. I'm doing something very small for next month for Women's Health and History Month, a meetup brunch, which will be posted on the Facebook page. We decided to do something as a group, and I'm encouraging as many moms as possible to come out on May 7th. We're deciding to do a marathon together here in New York, the Color Run. It will be my first marathon. Just something fun and different to encourage physical activity, wellness, healthy or mindset, lifestyle, and just encouraging moms to get out of the house. So that event has been posted on the page. I am still in the planning stages for my second annual Saving Our Last Nerve Mental Health and Wellness Community Forum for Women of Color. That event will be taking place in Manhattan. The last one was on Long Island. And I'm excited. I'm really excited about that one. The location is still up in the air, but I've been getting a lot of feedback in terms of people that are interested in being on the panel and just engaging in that conversation. It's important to me to always look for opportunities to partner with the public and private sector to encourage the conversation of mental health and wellness. This year, I want to do more in terms of sharing different wellness options from others for women, period. I think the services you provide and other professionals, we're not talking more enough about them. And so I want to always use the platform of PAM to introduce and promote different wellness options so that we're always being proactive with our wellness and encouraging mothers to always put themselves first. Because if we don't take care of ourselves and preserve ourselves, we are not able to take care of those who look for us.
That's right.
And so those are the big things I'm looking to do, in addition to planning retreats, wellness retreats.
Ooh.
Yes, we need to get away. We need to
Yeah.
turn up physically, not just for a few hours. We need to get on a plane, get on a ship or whatever, and just say, you know what? It's my time. It's for me.
Ooh, that sounds wonderful.
I guess you're coming.
So, I mean, you tell me about going away. I'm like, okay.
Yes. And, I have to say yes, because it's something about even the anticipation of going away that makes you feel better. You're
Yes.
you're shopping for what you're gonna wear. Everything is your whole mindset changes and shifts because you're thinking of something better. You're hopeful of something better. So yes, definitely planning retreats for moms is always a necessity. And so, but from conversating with you earlier, I decided that I wanted to offer something to
Okay.
really push moms to revisit their dreams, revisit their inner child. If they had notes in their journal of starting an idea, a vision, a business, I wanted to push them to do that. So I have a number that I'm offering. My voice is going again. Excuse me 1 second. The number is 1-800-578-4098. Again, that's 578-4098. And the offer is for 2 days. I am pushing a very heavy discount consultation to get moms to move forward with their dreams and help them get to that next nudge, push, shove, whatever you call it, to say, not now, then when.
Right.
Don't wait till your kids are out of school, or don't wait till you get a better job, or don't wait till whatever, because it might never happen. So you have to say, you know what? I'm deserving of this. I'm worthy of this. I'm more than enough, and I'm doing it now. So I'm here to meet you halfway. My hands are extended to you. And you need someone to pull you along. So I'm ready to give that to moms. Yeah.
All right. Okay. And that's a half off?
That's half off my consultation normal fee.
Consultation. Okay.
Yeah.
Half off the fee. Okay, great. Thank you so much. And what I'd like to do is just to make it a little challenging and ask people to post a comment or a question, mention something that you learned tonight on the show on the Rejuvenation Station Radio Facebook page. That would be fabulous. Also, well, let's see. The PAM Project has a Facebook page as well, right?
Right.
Okay. Or on the PAM Project, because there's another PAM Project out there. So it's the PAM Project Facebook page.
Right.
Okay. And did you mention your Twitter handle?
The Twitter handle is Preserve Moms.
Okay. All right. So Preserve Moms. If anyone out there is a Twitter person, you can reach her there. And so thank you. What I have going on, I'm in the middle of a really cool 14-day womb rejuvenation and transformation kickstart challenge. One of my friends said, that's a lot to say. Yes, it is. It's a lot to say and a lot to do, because we're talking about rejuvenating the womb of your mind, the womb of your heart, the womb of your physical womb as well. So if you go to my business page, which is Conscious Living Care Biz on Facebook, Conscious Living Care BIZ, you'll see the link for the event. It is all online. It's free. What we're doing is posting an activity to do every day, and that will help to empower, uplift, encourage, and some self-healing of the womb of your mind and your physical womb. So we're doing activities that deal from emotional, spiritual, all the way to things you can eat, techniques you can do, okay, to better yourself. All right. And I just thought what I wanted to do was for people, this is a way for people to know a little bit more about me, to interact with me, see where I'm coming from, what I can offer, and then I get to know about you. Okay. I get to know about what you're doing, or how you're feeling, or how I can help in any way. So also, if you just search on Facebook 14-day womb rejuvenation and transformation, it'll come up. The event will it'll come up. It's public. So but what we do is we have a private Facebook group, okay, a closed Facebook group. So it is a safe place for you to interact. And we're having some really good engagement going on there. So it started on Monday, but it's not too late to join in. As soon as you join in, there's a little opt-in thing that you do, just your name and your email, and you can start to get all the challenges from each day since Monday. So join in for that. And then in March, I'll have a full-blown womb rejuvenation and transformation program that I'm offering. And you'll see more about that. I'll talk more about that. But if you're ready, you're at the point where I need some help from any type of womb issue, from infertility all the way to menopause and everything else in between. We can set up a little strategy session. Okay. You just email me, io@consciouslivingcare.com. Okay. Or you can always go to my website, consciouslivingcare.com. And you'll see more of my services as well. Okay, I'm getting a little note. We have 5 minutes. So Alicia, I almost called you Pam. I know that happens a lot.
And it's great. It's really fine. I mean, it's flattering to me that my branding is working. And
It
I
is.
know, yes. And, being that it was my mom's name, it's always sweet to hear someone refer to me as Pam. But I've enjoyed this conversation, and I hope that whoever is listening in, the information has been helpful. Closing, I just want to encourage people to know that it's okay if you're not okay. That we need to take off the mask, and
Yes.
you can be strong and still need help. This I think that is the biggest hurdle for us, especially women of color, because we don't want to let go of the image that we're strong, but you're human. So that means you can have downtime, you can have dark days, and you can still be okay. So I just felt the need to just plug that again, because it's sometimes a challenge to get past that, and it's killing us. It is.
It is. It is. As a matter of fact, last Friday, I had said a few days before that I was going to go to the spa, and I believe it or not, I was trying to talk myself out of it because
Why?
I said to myself, and I'm sure the people have said this, oh, I have this to do, I have that to do, and I gotta. And then I
Right.
said, wait a minute, hold it, stop. Go, because you're going to be re-energized, you're going to be relaxed, you're going to have new thoughts, you're going to have new visions. Let's just go. Let's just wash it off. I said, everything. One of my mentors always says, time bends for you.
Right.
So, and I just had that in mind. I said, everything will be fine. I'll have the time to do whatever it is I need to do. So, I thank you so much, Alicia, for sharing your time and your experiences and your wisdom and the gift that you're offering my listeners tonight. I thank you so much, and my hope is that new things were learned, or visions were opened or reopened. That's always my hope with this show, that either you learn something new or something that you already know is just like reawakened.
Right.
Okay. So thanks again. And thank you all for listening. I'll see you on, let's see, it was March 9th. We kick off Women's History Month. I have an author coming in. So we have some more creativity coming in there. And it's going to be an awesome show. Awesome show. So everyone, please be blessed. Have a wonderful rest of your evening. And Alicia, hold on. All right.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Thank you for joining Ayo and the Rejuvenation Station. Women's health matters. Until next time, self-care from the inside out brings back your joy and knocks stress out.